I'm so excited to tell you about the Kroger Opt Up app. OptUp is your virtual assistant for healthier shopping. I've been using OptUp with my grocery shopping, and now I'm more mindful as I make food choices for my family at Kroger. What I love the most is how OptUp tracks my household score automatically based off what I'm purchasing at Kroger. OptUp also makes recommendations for healthier alternatives and nutrition facts of the foods we purchase. OptUp is very easy to use. Download it today in the App Store or Google Play. Welcome to the Produce Moms Podcast, where we believe there is a produce mom in all of us. I'm Lori Taylor, founder and CEO of the Produce Moms. For 10 years, I sold fresh produce to over 300 grocery stores in the U.S. And today, my team and I are fully focused on inspiring people to eat more fruits and vegetables. This show is just one of the ways that we hope to inspire you and your family to eat more produce and live a better life. If you like what you're hearing on the podcast, join our community of almost 40,000 in all 50 states and over 30 countries by visiting theproducemoms.com/subscribe. And be sure to subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes. Thanks for being here. Enjoy today's show. Okay, everyone, welcome back to the Produce Moms Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, someone who is widely recognized and accomplished within the grocery industry as well as fresh produce. She is a registered dietitian. Actually, she has a lot of initials after her last name. So today we are speaking with my dear friend, Allison Kuhn. She is the Director of Retail Nutrition Solutions at Kroger. Allison has a lot of accolades, including one that she received last year, a Top Woman in Grocery Rising Star Award. That's a very difficult award to receive. She's also been recognized by Produce for Better Health Foundation as Dietitian of the Year, and a host of other distinguished recognitions and awards. So without further ado, let's welcome my dear friend, one of the best dietitians in America, someone who is a true innovator and in my opinion, one of the top visionaries at Kroger. So Allison, welcome.
Thank you, Lori. That was the best introduction that I've ever gotten.
Oh, well, I do think you're remarkable, which you know, and I've had the pleasure of knowing Allison. I mean, when did we meet? We met in Chelan, Washington.
It's been like 3 years. I'm thinking like 3+ years. Yeah.
3 or 4 years I have known Allison, and you can follow her on Instagram. She is Hangry RD, as in hungry. Hunger makes her angry. Hangry RD. Her Instagram is a lot of fun. But Allison, just thank you so much for being part of this.
You're so welcome. I'm excited for this venture for you and your team and everything that you're working on. So it's really cool to be a part of it.
Oh, you're the best. So tell me, what do all those initials after your name stand for?
So yes, I'm a registered dietitian, and then also have my master's degree in nutrition science. Actually started my educational career in culinary arts, though. So really just a huge foodie, love food, love cooking, love traveling to eat different things in different places. But basically that's where I got started. And then I took a course just early on in my culinary education about nutrition. And I realized like, this is a pretty cool connection. And I think I want to do this for the next, 40 years or whatever it is. So I became an RD after that. And I worked a bit clinically. And then I came to Kroger over 4 years ago. Started out doing some work on our private label products and our consumer affairs department, talking with customers about our products. Then started doing a little bit of writing and digital content as we started to get into that arena. And then a couple of years ago, we really expanded our in-store dietitian program, and we do a lot of clinical services. And we're also starting to get into different digital applications, a lot more marketing around health, wellness, and nutrition. So it's a very exciting time for general health and wellness at Kroger, but definitely for nutrition and kind of that food as medicine concept.
I love that. And I'm a full believer and supporter in the work that you're doing and the, the new programming that Kroger is putting into place to help their shoppers, people like myself and, all moms who are listening to this broadcast, anyone who shops at Kroger who is listening to this podcast. There are so many new innovative programs at Kroger to help you with
really that nutrition literacy, understanding what is nutrition. So that's a great question that I'd love to ask you, Allison. What is nutrition? How do you answer that question?
That's such a great question. And really it comes down to food literacy is a great way of putting it. There's actually a lot of research about food literacy in America, and we do have a lot of gaps with just the basic skills that we kind of observe maybe in our parents or grandparents in terms of shopping for food, buying food, storing food, cooking food on the regular. And that whole element, we've changed a lot. We have so many more options now that don't involve us necessarily having or using those same skills. So in terms of food literacy, we have a lot of opportunities to help our customers relearn some of those things. So whether it's learning how to pick produce, whether it's learning how to read a nutrition label. So that's kind of that food literacy piece that Kroger really wants to help with. But then in terms of what is nutrition, we talk so much about food at the center of what we do at Kroger, especially in relationship to healthcare. And we say, food is how we celebrate things. Food is how we spend time with people we love. Food is how we console ourselves sometimes. And all of those things are okay. Nutrition is acknowledging, look, we need food to live. We must have fuel to keep going and doing the important things we do as moms and as professionals every day. But nutrition is saying we're going to optimize that. Now that might mean optimize it in terms of calories and nutrients and sodium and added sugars, but it sometimes also means optimizing it in terms of just enjoying what you're eating or using eating as a positive experience to connect with another person. So my definition of nutrition is actually, it's really broad. It's basically using food the best possible ways we can to enhance our health and our life. So not just saying that's the absolute, on paper healthiest diet that I can have, but it's more like how do I eat intuitively and have peace and balance with food in a way that makes life better.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. And, as you're speaking, I'm reminded of an ebook that the Produce Moms actually published in partnership with Kroger. It's a fruit and vegetable tray for almost every holiday. So folks, if you have not checked out that ebook yet, it is one of our, it's one of our top pieces of content, been downloaded. I'd have to look at the analytics again, but tens of thousands of times. And Allison, as you're speaking about, it kind of comes down to a line that I say a lot when I have any opportunity for public speaking or media. It is very common for me to say, food is culture. We celebrate our lives with food, and as just like you're saying, we want to do that in a mindful way, and that's synergist with the platform and the publications that we put forward at TPM. I mean, we are on a mission to help increase the consumption of fruits and vegetables, and we do that through educating and inspiring moms, children, people of all ages and demographics on how to select, store, and serve their fruits and vegetables.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. I love that concept for the ebook too. How fun.
It is such a great piece of content. So no matter what time of year, there's pretty much for every month of the year, there's a different holiday that we're celebrating, whether it's Mother's Day, Father's Day, obviously the big ones, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. We have, so many holidays, New Year's Eve. It's a great ebook. So kudos and thank you to Kroger for making that possible at the Produce Moms.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Allison, we have to talk about Opt Up.
Yes, we have to. We have to talk about it. I'm so excited to talk about it.
Oh my goodness. So this app, which for anyone who's been listening to the podcast, you have heard my testimonial about Opt Up. I will say, out of all of the smartphone apps that I have downloaded, any software or digital program that has come across my desk or across my life, this app, Opt Up, is truly, it's the most effective one that I've ever encountered. I view it as a real game changer for not only Kroger, but for everyone who downloads it and shops at Kroger.
I love it. Yeah. We really think that it has the power to make a lot of change. I always say nutrition is kind of the newest kid on the block a lot of times, but even with that, actually make a change. What are the barriers that keep people from shopping or eating a little bit healthier, or honestly just leave them feeling frustrated when they try? And so some of the things that we know can be difficult is like, okay, I don't want to enter in a lot of data, for one thing. I don't want it to be too time consuming.
Right.
Second, I want it to just be simple and just be easy and actually save me time, not add in more time. And I want to feel like I have, power to make a good decision. So I don't want to feel like I have to be confused or question or second guess what I'm doing. There's lots of conflicting information out there about nutrition, as you know. So people want to feel like it's clear and they can make a good informed decision. So what we've done with OptUp, and again, for those listening, if you already know about it, I might be repeating, but if not, I'll give you the rundown. We say it helps people in three main ways. So we came out with this app. We came out with it in March. It's our very first version. So we have a lot more that we're going to be adding to it over time. But our very first version kind of helps you as a shopper in three main ways. So first of all, you can evaluate what you buy. So what we do is we have you log into the app with your loyalty account through Kroger, and then it's going to pull up a list of everything you purchased, and you're going to see a nutrition score from 1 to 100 for all of those items. You don't have to enter anything. It's pulling that data from your Plus card, so it's super simple and easy for you as a user. So you can see those scores. Then you can make a change where you might need to make a change. So if you're buying a cracker today that scores, a 35, you can click on that item and you can see other crackers that score 45 or 55 or maybe really higher than that. And so you can quickly and easily say, how do I find the cracker that's most similar to the crackers I'm buying today, but is better for me? So that's that second part. And then the third part is track your progress over time. So actually, when you log on to the app, you go to what's called our dashboard, and you'll see your OptUp score. And this is really fun because it's like the score for your household to say, how are you doing on nutrition right now? And then what's your target? So we've looked at some average scores. We've come up with a target to try to meet or go above, which a lot of our people have gone above our target. And it's showing you too how your cart kind of breaks down. So you can see here's how many green or highest scoring items I purchased, how many yellow or medium scoring items I purchased, and then red, which is our lower scoring items. And we help customers understand that it's really about a balance within that cart. So it's okay to have some red. It's great to have some yellow. But we can always be making different trade-offs between the categories.
Yeah. And I will say the time saver that you referenced is real. I mean, that was my demise with some of these other apps. It was like, man, I don't have time. Like I barely have time to cook dinner, much less log it in.
Exactly. Exactly. To me, I think that's huge because, we've all probably done tracking at some, and we know that specific tracking of things we're eating. I mean, it does help in weight loss. It works.
Right.
But we know that a lot of times people are not able to kind of sustain that because it just becomes quite arduous. So it's exciting that this is really saying, look, we are providing you already great discounts and personalization through your loyalty card, but now we're going to be able to use it to help you basically reflect on your shopping trip and understand from a health perspective really how you're doing.
Right.
So it's that, again, back to those barriers, it really takes away a barrier and helps people to be able to action on those things much easier.
I love it. And for all the produce moms listening, I am yet to purchase something in the produce department at Kroger that is outside of the green range. So
that's right. Yes.
I say it all the time, folks. The produce department is a guilt-free zone. So buy some more fruits and vegetables. But so Allison, let's talk about the gamification, because this is really this is what's made the impact on me. I'm a naturally competitive person. Okay. Like I don't.
Me too. I get you.
Yes. And so I am watching my household score like a hawk and refusing. And it's effective. I don't want my household score to drop. And so for anyone who hasn't experienced the app yet, like Allison said, you shop and your purchases are all populated based off your customer loyalty number. And And so we celebrated a first communion for my son. And, of course, that desserts are always part of that, things that would be part of that red zone, and
right.
I told the grandmothers to buy that. I was like, I don't, because I didn't want it to, I didn't want it to affect my household score. Yeah, but it is. But you know what? Just yesterday I was grocery shopping at Kroger, and as someone who, I certainly view myself as a knowledgeable person when it comes to nutrition density within our food and the type of food we should be eating. Okay. But just yesterday I was shopping and needed to pick up some bread for my kids. And so after being an avid user of the OptUp app since March, I realized that the foods with the higher fiber content are those are scoring better when it comes to, and foods that are inclusive of the whole grains. And so I found myself in the bread aisle at Kroger looking at the different options, and the bread that I normally bought, I turned it over, and looking at the nutrition panel, I was like, oh, this is not going to get me where I want to be with my OptUp score. And so I grabbed a complimentary product, and sure enough, the fiber content was higher by almost 4 grams. And so I knew this is that shift. It was the OptUp concept in action. And so I was so excited when that happened. I was like, oh, I got to tell Allison the story tomorrow. But, the concept of shifting, that's a key recommendation of the dietary guidelines.
It absolutely is. And I'm glad that you mentioned dietary guidelines, because really when it comes to our scoring, now our scoring is foundationally based on some science out of the UK, University of Oxford. And it really is looking at those core components that align very well with our dietary guidelines, like calories, saturated fat, sodium, sugar. So saturated fat, sodium, and sugar are really the 3 big ones emphasized by the dietary guidelines. And then on the positive side, looking at fiber, protein, and then being part of that fruit, vegetable, nut, legume group, which is, again, emphasized by the dietary guidelines of those eating patterns.
The underconsumed
really
categories, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I'm a big advocate, you guys. And this is just a great opportunity. I know that if you've been listening to the broadcast, you have heard the short testimonial that I've provided for OptUp. Now you're actually understanding more exactly what OptUp means. So Allison, we're closing in on our time here, but I'd love to learn more about how you personally, what was your role with OptUp? What was your responsibility with making this app and this game-changing software a reality for me and my family, as well as the countless others who have downloaded it and started to understand nutrition at a level they didn't before?
Yeah. So actually that's such a good question, because it's really been like a 3+ week process. Mm-hmm. Year.
Yeah, no,
not week. A 3+ year process.
I'm sure.
And so in the beginning, I was really just working on the background science. But as this has become a bigger and bigger initiative for Kroger, I'm actually now in a business ownership role. So really just responsible for moving this whole kind of project forward, and really getting it to market. And now that it's in market, responsible for continuing to improve it with new features, market it, let people know about it, collect customer feedback so we can keep making it better. So definitely my role in it has evolved over time, but we have a massive team who is so passionate. And so it's cool to see it all come together with everybody really contributing at the highest level.
That's great. Yeah. And you know what? You guys should all be passionate, because this is an example of work that matters. And that's one thing that we always try to highlight when, through the Produce Moms podcast, who are people within the food industry that are truly doing the work that matters. And Allison, you and your team behind the OptUp app, you're a great example of that. You are making significant changes in the way America eats.
Well, thank you so much, Laura. That's, really our goal here at Kroger Health is to help people live healthier lives. And it's very simple. It's, it's not overstated. It's just a very simple goal, but that is what drives our strategy and which projects we choose to kind of invest resources in. And so I can tell you there's a ton of excitement over here at Kroger about this app. We know we want to really, bust it out, like I said, over the next several months or year. But even now, in its just launch phase, we're still so excited, and we still believe it is helping our customers do that. So it's really exciting, and we're just really, really, really grateful for the opportunity to talk about it today, and grateful for our customers trusting us in this way, and letting us bring this solution to them.
That's great. And I will say that as I watch my OptUp household score and dashboard like a hawk, I got a little giddy when I purchased edamame as well.
Edamame is a slam dunk. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that was a complete 100 score. That was, if I remember.
It sure is.
Yep. And then artichokes, 98.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. And, but really everything in the produce department scores, in the top, they're 85 to 100. So it's a lot of my household budget goes towards that. So Allison, thank you so much for your time today. In closing, I'd love for you to tell our listeners where they can learn more about this game-changing app, OptUp, as well as how they can connect with you on your registered handles. Yeah. So the app is available for download presently in the App Store and on Google Play. And then if you want more information specifically, you can visit optupapp.com. And we have some videos and some cool content on there as well, explaining a little bit more about the app. As far as connecting with me, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, Twitter. Instagram, just look for Hangry. Again, that's HANGRYRD. And then Twitter, it is going to be the Hangry RD. So just feel free to reach out. I love chatting with people about anything related to food or also a mom. So all of those things are kind of tied together. So it's just been so much fun talking with you today, Lori. And thanks for all of your support of Kroger and OptUp, and just me personally, you're an awesome friend. So thanks again. And thanks to all the listeners. Thank you, Allison. Have a great day. So Allison Kuhn with Kroger, the Hangry RD. Thank you all for being part of today's show. Allison she is doing work that matters. She's a mother, and we just could not be more thrilled and proud to help share her story and the great work she's doing at Kroger and with the OptUp software and app specifically. So thank you all for listening. Allison, have a great day. All of our listeners, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Produce Moms Podcast. If you or someone you know would like to be a featured guest, just send an email to lori@theproducemoms.com. We know there is a produce mom in you because there's a produce mom in all of us. Join our community on Facebook and all social platforms. Help us change the way America eats. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.